Hello, everyone. My name is Michael King, and this is my Chapter 11 presentation, Diversity and Discrimination. The learning outcome for this chapter will be to describe the differences between a diverse workforce and workplace discrimination, what ethical issues can organizations encounter as a result of having a diverse workforce, what are the correlations between equal opportunity, affirmative action, and discrimination? Can there be ethical issues involving equal opportunity, affirmative action, and discrimination? Can preferential treatment in the workplace cause ethical issues? And what are some of the ramifications of workplace sexual harassment? So now let's talk about diversity in the workplace. What exactly is diversity? Workplace diversity refers to the variety of differences between people in an organization. Diversity can encompass race, gender, ethnic group, age, personality, cognitive style, tenure, organizational function, education, and background. So let's watch the video and see if we can describe exactly what diversity in the workplace encompasses.
Oh, I got my project done, so I want to go to
Good.
lunch. Are you
Let's go.
hungry?
Yeah. Hey, Karen, have you noticed that things are kind of changing around here? And I don't mean for the better.
What do you mean?
Well, things are, they're different.
Well, you already said that. Like, how do you mean?
Well, have you seen the new hire over in IT? I guess her name is what, Katrina?
I haven't talked to her. Just said hi to her in the halls. So, what about her?
Well, she's really different, I guess you'd say. I saw her in the cafeteria the other day. Hey, have you ever heard her talk? Have you ever seen how she dresses? I mean, she's just not like the rest of us. It's like she's too good for every one of us. I don't know. Maybe it's just a stereotype, but I've heard people like her are normally pretty aloof. Now, I'm not saying that everybody like her is like that. I used to go to college with people like her and everything, but she's kind of out there.
Hi, guys. Have you heard about that new gal, Katrina, they hired over in IT? She's pretty strange, isn't she?
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. She just joined the company, and already there's all this grumbling and resentment about her. She's just so different. The whole company's talking about her because she doesn't seem to fit in. Let me tell you something. When I started 10 years ago, and old man Brown was the president, he wouldn't have let employees like her be hired.
Oh, Joe, give her a chance. You can't judge what someone is like on the inside simply because they look different.
Well, it's not just...
Hey, Joe, Karen, Richard. So what do we have here? An informal meeting of the Bewildered Employees Club? All right, what's the problem?
Can I be honest with you, sir?
Oh, let's see. What's my alternative? Have you lied to me? Of course you can be honest with me, Joe. What's the concern?
Well, I don't want to be rude, but it's this new girl, Katrina. She's just not, how do you say it? She's not like the rest of us. She's different. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just want to know, how did she get hired?
Well, where should I start? She was hired because she's highly qualified. Her resume reads like a who's who of high achievers. She's got years of industry experience, and on top of that, the quality of her work is outstanding. Joe, I think you're going to like her.
Well, look, I may have to work with her, but that doesn't mean I have to like her.
Joe, you need to give her a chance. It's not easy being different. Everybody isn't going to look like you, talk like you, and think like you. And thank goodness for that.
Karen's right, Joe. Oh, luck would have it, here she comes. Katrina, would you step over here a minute?
Now let's talk about workplace discrimination. What is workplace discrimination? Discrimination for the purpose of employment law is any workplace action such as hiring, firing, demoting, and promoting based on a prejudice of some kind that results in the unfair treatment of employees. So let's take a look at a video on workplace discrimination.
Hello. I was doing a work placement and my mentor discriminated against me because of my religion. She asked me about my religion and then she began to treat me badly. She didn't support me and, unwelcomed, offended and degraded me. And at the date of the report she said she didn't know if she should mentor me and that she didn't observe me. However, the university sent her all the documents and the director wrote her name on my acceptance form. I asked her to contact my university and ask them for paperwork. She called them and asked for the papers, but refused to write the report. Also, she then asked me to give her personal information about myself and my previous work phone number. She interfered with my privacy. However, I gave her my previous director's number as she wanted to ask her about my work to finish the report. She did call, but the director wasn't there. So she wrote a bad report and refused to give a copy of this report and withheld information about her support plan. I want to know what legal advice to ask for compensation, as I think this is workplace bullying and discrimination, and it has affected me physically, psychologically and socially. Go to lawanswers.com.au, Australia's #1 legal aid and legal questions site, like I did, to learn more. Hello.
What are some differences between affirmative action, equal employment, and preferential treatment? Affirmative action refers to any policy or action aimed at securing a more equal workplace that goes beyond simple legal access or passive discrimination, but that does not alter the standards or qualification of employment. Desjardins 242. Equal employment refers to the commitment to legal access regardless of gender, race, or ethnic background. Desjardins 242. Preferential treatment is giving someone employment preferences because of their race, ethnicity, or their gender. There are ethical issues involving affirmative action, equal employment, and preferential treatment. Affirmative action policies do provide some positive benefits for some previously disadvantaged groups, but do so without changing or lowering qualifications. The commitment to equal opportunity requires businesses not to discriminate in any of its activities. Preferential treatment is one of the most difficult ethic provisions to deal with because it seems on its face so open-ended. Every time a decision is made, someone is preferred over someone else. This is a quote from our text. Giving preferential preferences to any job applicant appears to violate the ethical commitment to ethical treatment, Desjardins 243, because it's giving preferential treatment to an applicant based on color, regardless to as whether or not the applicant is qualified for the job. Giving preferential treatment to all University of Memphis graduates without considering candidates from other colleges and universities. Preferential hiring arguments. There are 4 issues that should be examined to determine if preferential hiring arguments are justifiable. One is the merit principle a reasonable requirement of justice? 2, are the qualifications used to establish merit fair and open to all? 3, is there a reasonable way to determine and measure qualification so the best candidates are chosen for the position? And 4, does diverse ethnic and gender backgrounds serve as qualifications for the job? Supportive of preferential hiring practices. One support would be to establish principles for individuals harmed by discriminatory hiring practices so that they may receive monetary compensation for the harm. Workplace sexual harassment. There are two forms of sexual harassment. Quid pro Quid pro quo is a form of sexual harassment in which sexual favors are made as a condition of employment. Number two, hostile work environment is a form of harassment in which unwelcome comments or conducts based on gender, race, nationality, religion, disability, or sexual orientation, age, or other legally protected characteristics interferes with an employee's work performance and creates an offensive and intimidating work environment for the employee who is being harassed. Here's an example of sexual harassment or sexual harassment in the workplace.
Keep you posted. That was a quick lunch. Is something wrong?
Yeah, the vending guys, they've been making inappropriate comments of a sexual nature.
Managers need to take steps to protect employees, even when a problem is being caused by outsiders.
Can you help us?
Harassment can be verbal, visual, or physical. Examples of verbal harassment might include derogatory comments, slurs, or even offensive music lyrics. Visual can be gestures, cartoons, or slogans on t-shirts or mugs. Physical would include unwelcome touching, or blocking someone's path, or otherwise interfering with their movements.
Our patients are my first priority, but I need to take care of my staff too. There's lots to do. Meetings, calls, reports. But there's times when I have to step right in, even if I don't have the time. I'll confront offending individuals. Okay, guys, what's going on? I understand you've been bothering some of our staff members at lunchtime?
Oh, no, not really.
If I have to, I'll call their boss. If that doesn't work, I may need to find a different vendor. Look, I'm going to ask that it be the last, okay? That kind of behavior is not welcome by my staff, and it's not welcome here at the hospital. Whatever it takes to keep harassment away from my hospital.
Okay.
All right, okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Now, here are our discussion questions. 1. What are the differences between affirmative action and preferential treatment? What legal recourse do employees have if they feel they have been discriminated against in the workplace? Are women the only group of people to experience sexual harassment in the workplace? Why or why not? Thank you for watching my presentation.